Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be with you here as we take a look at the Week 13 waiver wire for the hitter side of the game. The week starting Monday, June 21st. Guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything we have there. The main page, the premium package, expert chats, you name it. rotoballer.com, the place to be. Whether it's baseball for the remainder of the season, or football as you prepare for your fantasy football season, basketball, MMA, esports, NASCAR, PGA, sports betting, rotoballer.com has you covered, whether you're a season-long or DFS player. Sign up for any of the premium packages, including baseball the rest of the way, or the upcoming fantasy football season, and use the promotional code ACES. Save yourself a little bit of money with that promo code, because you're basically just telling them that Anthony sent you. And guys, don't forget, Weekly Fantasy Baseball is here. If you love the strategy of season-long fantasy sports and live for the short-term gratification of DFS, then be sure to try out Weekly Fantasy Baseball contests on Owner's Box. Head on over to rotoballer.com/box and sign up today. Our friends at Owner's Box are hooking you up. All new users get up to a $500 deposit match bonus and a free RotoBaller Premium Pass valued at $99. We'll be hosting weekly free roll contests on Owner's Box as well, which are free to enter with lots of awesome prizes to the winners. Head on over rotoballer.com/box for all the details and sign up today. All right, guys. Week 13, Monday, June 21st here as we approach checkpoint 2 of the fantasy baseball season, which would be the 4th of July, is always my second checkpoint. But some hitters here, round the horn. We'll take a look. Some players who can help you get over injuries or disappointing starts now to some players. And we always want to throw at least one catcher out there. And people on YouTube right here in the comment section said, hey, Aniano, you forgot Max Stassi last week when you talked about Eric Haas. Well, you're right. And now I got to talk about Max Stassi because he's still hitting for the Los Angeles Angels. Batting third in that Angels lineup and still only 37% rostered on Yahoo. As we know, I always use that Yahoo rostership percentage. Try to keep it at or under 40%, occasionally a little bit over if somebody catches my eye. But Stassi's still sitting at 37% as I record this on June 19th. Over his last 14 games, Max Stassi's hitting .361 with 4 of his 5 home runs and 10 of his 12 RBIs. He scored some runs, 14 runs scored over the last 14. That .361 average standing out. And on the season, he's actually hitting .310 with a terrific, I'd love him in an OBP league right now, a .395 on base percentage. Like we said, most of his damage has come over the last 14 days. 4 of his 5 home runs, 10 of his 12 RBIs, but nonetheless something you have to be paying attention to. On this season, he has the second highest OPS of anybody I'm going to mention today. His on-base plus slugging sits at a terrific .973. Now, Max Stassi's not a rookie. He's not a young kid. He's been around. Last season in 31 games, he did hit .278, essentially playing in half of the games last season. He's never played more than 88 games in a season, and he's a .228 lifetime hitter. So right now, in my opinion, the reality is you're getting the best you're going to get out of Max Stassi. If he finishes at that .278 he hit last year, sign up for that, be thrilled with that, and have yourself a useful catcher. The power's never really been there before. He's never shown himself to be this type of hitter. Enjoy it while you can. Okay, if you've been streaming catchers all year, Max Stassi right now, the hottest name to stream behind the plate. All right, we take a look now at some corner infield options, and my number one ad of the week comes out of the first base position, and that's the rookie in Cleveland, Bobby Bradley, who on the season is the same as his last 14 days, but in those 14 days, he's hitting .333 with a .400 on-base percentage, showing power early, 4 homers, 11 RBIs, and 9 runs scored. Only 26% rostered. That should skyrocket, in my opinion, to the 70% rostership by the time we do this show next week. He's hitting 5th in that Cleveland lineup. Cleveland's playing good ball. They moved on at first base from Jake Bauer. He's actually hitting okay for Seattle, who picked him up when Cleveland designated him for assignment. But nonetheless, the highest OPS of anybody on the list at over 1,000, 1.122. Okay, now there's some downside. does strike out a lot. He's got 10 strikeouts at 36 at-bats at the time of me doing this video. In 2019, at AAA, his last AAA full season, he did hit 33 home runs, so the power's legitimate, but so's the strikeouts. He struck out 33% of the time. Somebody who strikes out that much is going to have some, peaks and valleys in their season, and that is what potentially could happen with Bradley. But if you're searching for a corner infielder or desperate for a first baseman, there are others hitting. Brandon Belt is off the IL. He's hitting the ball well. Some veterans we've talked about in the past. But right now, Bradley has the most upside as the rookie of this group. But remember, you're going to deal with some strikeouts along the way with the power that he brings to the Cleveland lineup. Okay, another corner infielder, also outfield eligible, Joc Pederson of the Chicago Cubs. You talk about a streaky hitter, peaks and valleys. That's what Joc Pederson is. 37% rostered. And right now, he's at a peak. Over his last 14 days, he's hitting 300. Okay, on the season, he's got his batting average up to 250. Joc Pederson hits 250. That is a win of all wins for Joc Pederson. 5 of his 11 home runs over the last 14 days, 8 of his 29 RBIs, and 8 of his 26 runs scored. Now, he's hitting leadoff for Chicago, which is fun. Now, he doesn't walk much. He's still only got a .313 on base percentage, which leads to a .787 OPS. But again, we talk about the peaks and valleys. His April was terrible. He was drafted in a lot of places and dropped some point in April. He hit 137 with only 1 home run the entire month of April. May, he heated up. In May, he hit 314, but didn't flash the power you expected, only 3 home runs. June, really, I feel, is settling into what Joc Pederson is so far. For the month of June, he's hitting 255. I know he's not a 300-plus hitter. We all know that. 255 is where we want him to be. But the power has played in the month of June, and it will continue to play all summer long. And Wrigley, he's got 7 home runs in the month of June, does Joc Pederson. First base, corner, infield, and outfield eligible. One other player, corner infield eligible, first base, third base, and middle infield eligible. I love those guys who you could put in 5 different spots, and Ty France of the Seattle Mariners is one of them. Down to only 33% rostered, and it needs to start coming back up. Another hot and cold, streaky type of hitter, but playing every day for Seattle, hitting in the 3 spot primarily. Over the last 14 days, he's hitting 319, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 9 runs scored, getting his season-long batting average up to 268, and of those 2 home runs are 2 of his 5 total. Very good on-base percentage of 357, 32 runs scored, 27 RBIs, an OPS of 772. But again, April, everybody fell in love. He hit 289, 3 home runs. May, it was drop as he hit a .190 with no homers. Now June, he's back up for the month of June at 313 with 2 more home runs. Bad May, good June. Rostership goes down. We'll see it start going up again. And again, remember, first, second, third, corner, and middle on yahoo.com. One more middle infielder to mention. I think I mentioned him last week, but I'll say it again. J.P. Crawford, also of the Seattle Mariners, shortstop, middle infield eligible, only 23% rostered. And I cannot ignore a guy who's hitting 385 over the last 14 days. 9 runs scored, batting leadoff for Seattle. Homer, 6 RBIs, but you're looking for the runs, you're looking for the batting average. That's what J.P. Crawford is giving you. An OPS, on base plus slugging, of 744 on the season. He's got his batting average up to 283, and if Crawford ends there, if your middle infielder hits 383 with a 345 on base percentage, 4 homers, 25 RBIs, 32 runs scored on the season, you could do worse at the middle infielder position right now than J.P. Crawford. 23% rostered, won't cost you a lot of fab at all. Taking a look at a few outfielders. The ultimate boom or bust power play, he's down in Miami right now, and that's Adam Duvall. We've played the Adam Duvall game. We'll continue to play it because we fall in love when he gets hot, and we jump off the bandwagon as soon as he has that golden sombrero, that 0 for 4 strikeout game. But right now, that rostership is down to 26% on Yahoo, but he's getting hot again. Over the last 14 days, he's hitting 300 with 5 homers, 15 RBIs in his last 14 days. You can't ask for more than an RBI per day. He's even sprinkled in 2 stolen bases over the last 14 days with 7 runs scored, as the dogs are barking in the background. They agree with me on Adam Duvall. Hitting in the middle of that Marlins lineup, 4th or 5th most days. Now, here's the downside to Adam Duvall, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. He's got 72 strikeouts this season in 214 at-bats. Essentially, 1 out of every 3 at-bats, Adam Duvall is striking out. His on-base plus slugging is only 713. I mean, his on-base percentage is only 264 on the year, and his batting average on the year is only 215. Abysmal. But the power numbers are there, okay? And like we say, you now at this point in the season have to check the individual categories in your standings. If you are missing out on homers, if you are missing out on RBIs, Adam Duvall is the best option to fill it potentially off the waiver wire. With 14 homers and 48 RBIs already on the season, you're looking at a guy who's on pace for 30 and 100. Probably going to hit 210, but 30 and potentially 100 RBIs are on the table right now for Adam Duvall. Even 4 stolen bases, the most stolen bases on the year of anybody on this list. 2 more low-rostered players. Taylor Ward of the Los Angeles Angels, somebody we need to pay attention to. And these are my lowest rostered player here. Second lowest rostered player of the week. Taylor Ward, only 4% rostered on the Angels. We're playing much better ball, right? Back over 500, okay? 39 strikeouts and 133 at-bats. I don't love that. The OPS sits at 804. But last 14 days, he's hitting .326 with 3 homers, 13 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. On the season now, he's hitting .256, 7 homers, 27 RBIs, 23 runs scored, and he's hitting in the middle of the lineup. Sometimes hits 3rd, sometimes hits 5th, but he's in a run-producing spot in that Angels lineup and is producing runs right now. .256, those 7 home runs, that 804 OPS. And finally, in the deepest of leagues, the lowest rostered player, LaMonte Wade of the San Francisco Giants, who's been batting leadoff for the Giants. He's only 2% rostered. He's first base and outfield eligible. On the season, he's hitting .270, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 10 runs scored, even 2 stolen bases on the year. On-base percentage is excellent, .357. He's got an 844 OPS. Only 74 at-bats, 17 strikeouts in those 74 at-bats. But over the last 14 days, he's been productive. .273, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 5 runs scored, and he's even stolen the base as he's getting everyday at-bats and batting leadoff for the San Francisco Giants. So, you need a catcher, go get Max Stassi. If you're just looking for the best hitter available, Bobby Bradley is the one. He's got the most upside for Cleveland. If I'm looking at corner infielders, I go Bradley, Joc Pederson, Ty France in that order. If I want a middle infielder, I'm going Ty France and J.P. Crawford. And then the outfield, it's Adam Duvall for the power production, Tyler Wade for the overall better hitter. It's going to give you a significantly higher batting average than Adam Duvall will. And in the deepest of deep formats, take a look at LaMonte Wade of the San Francisco Giants. All right, everybody, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy. And like we said at the start, head over to rotoballer.com, use that promo code ACES, and save yourself a little bit of money in the process. Make sure you check out the waiver wire pitcher video right here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Stay smart, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.